Hello and welcome. Amir here with another React challenge that could really give you an edge on the interviews. Today we're going to write a debounce function. So how does debounce function work? Suppose we have a component like this, quite simple. So we have a search term which is in the beginning empty and then a flag for searching or not. Then we would render something like this. We have an input that when it's changed, value of the search term will change. And then the thing that happens is that when that change happens, we would go here and see. If there are something here, we would set the searching to be true, and we would do a call to an API to get the result. And this API is basically a mock API. So here we would get the term, we would log that we are doing a search, and then we would return a promise that would resolve in like 500 milliseconds. But this has a problem. So if I try to type Amir here, you can see that I get 4 new searches, because every time this input changes, this effect will run and this will run with a new value. So now if I go and delete it like this, you can see that it again calls the API 3 more times. So this is something we want to avoid. We want it to wait until we finish our typing. So if I refresh this, I want this when I search for Amir, when I type the R and stop, then it starts searching. So we want to basically debounce our inputs, so to say. So if you want to try it, please do so. Pause the video and do so. Otherwise, let's get into the code. Okay, I will be using a custom hook here. Let's call it use debounce, so that I could later on use it elsewhere if I want to. I would give it a value to debounce on. Now we need to keep track of that value. So we need to have a state. Let's call it debounce value. And of course we need to set it as well. And it would get the initial value as the initial. Then we need to have a use effect where that value changes, do something for us. So use effect. Now in this function we need to wait for some time and then return the debounce value. So let's see how we can do it. So I would call a function called handler, and as we want to wait, we need to have a set timeout, and I'm defined the function like so because I need to be able to clear it out when the component unmounts. So here I would set the debounce value to the value after some time, and the delay is, let's say, 500 milliseconds. Then I need to cancel the timeout, this timeout, if the value changes. So if I type A here, and before this timeout ends, I type M, I need to cancel out this timeout, so to say. And that happens in the return. So in the return, we would go and clear timeout. Handler. So this use effect depends on the value. Okay, so once again, we have effect here that after some time, 500 milliseconds, would set the debounce value to the new value that has arrived. But if in the meantime the value changes again, this effect will run. It will run the return to clear out the timeout that we had beforehand, and then it would set a new timeout. So we're done with this debounce function. Now we need to implement in our application. So here we can get the, let's say, debounced search term, use debounce, and let's say this is the search term. Now here in the effect, we would take a look at this search term, and if that is changed, then we would pass it to the search, and then we depend on the bounce search term as well, and that's it. But to see the effect, we can go here and say this is the debounced, and let's say this is the as well. Alright, now let's go here. You see that as I start typing, this value will update instantly, but the debounced search time will wait until my typing is finished, and then we would see the searching. So let's see. Great, so let me make this a bit longer. Let's say 3 seconds. Go here, delete it, and then type Amir 1 2 3, and then just comes here, and then the search happens. And if we delete as well, nothing happens. So yeah, this was it for the use debounce. It's going to be pretty useful in your application if you have something like this, an input button, an input box with the values that would trigger a API call. So if you liked the video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you really feel like it, you can always donate to the channel as well. The link to the donations are available in the description of the video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.